And for today, we're going to talk about various ways to run the sail concept out of multiple formations. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video for upcoming tips, schemes, and drills. Any questions or comments, please feel free to hit me up at facil.blango@gamereadyfb.com. Okay, today we're going to talk about the sail or the flood concept. The key to this play being successful is getting receivers at various levels to the sideline, short, middle, long, in order to outflank defenders, causing DBs and linebackers to make decisions. I'm going to show you a couple of variations that I enjoy to run that is simple for the wide receivers to execute and the QB to read. The first play is going to be out of the 3x1. The number one receiver is going to have an outside release fly. The number two will run a 10-yard out. I generally tell them to run it 12 yards if they're having trouble getting to the 10-yard landmark. It's important that they run this at 10 or more yards in order to get the proper space in between them and the number three, who will be running an out to the flats at 1 yard. On the backside, you can run a couple of various routes, whatever's your favorite for your quarterback. I typically go with a slant or a fade option, and the tailback is going to stay in and lock the backside for a 6-man protected box. If you start to see the safety trying to overplay the flood side of the field, then what I like to do is take the outside receiver on number one and tag him on the post and run that behind that safety, giving us a big play. Another variation out of the 3x1 is having the number one running an outside release fly. The number two runs a gator or a whip route to the flats. The number three will now run a 10-yard speed cut out, getting to the intermediate level as fast as possible. The backside receiver will run a slant. Protection is going to be key, so I will always keep that running back in for a 6-man box. There are a couple of different tags that you can run off of this. One, as always, will be the number one running that outside post behind the safety that's overplaying the sail. And then we can also give the number three the freedom to run a choice route here. He can either post to the middle or settle in open grass. We spend about 3 to 5 minutes repping this each and every day. So when we run the sail concept, that F will know exactly what to do and how to read leverage and where to go based on what the defender is giving him. The next variation will run it out of a 2x2. So our number one is going to run an outside release fly. The number two is going to run a speed cut out. The tailback is now your number three, which will be running to the flats. And on the backside, you can pair this with whatever you like. I generally run double slants or a dig by the outside receiver and a slant by the number two away from the concept side. Another way you can run the sail is attaching the Y or the tight end to the line and running it out of the 2x1. This is a good change up, as oftentimes you will find the tight end getting lost during the play. We'll start with the number one running the outside release fly. The number two will run the 10-yard speed cut out. The Y or tight end will run a shallow cross at the heels of the defensive end to get to the flats on the opposite side. Again, for those nosy, aggressive safeties, feel free to tag the number one on the post or give your F the freedom to read grass and either post to the middle of the field or settle in open area. I also like to run a play action off of this with the tailback, which will freeze the linebackers, allowing your receivers, particularly the Y, to get to where they need to be at the end of the day. Next, we'll run the sail out of two backs in the backfield, which leaves us the flexibility to do a number of different things. So for this concept, we're going to do the number one on the outside running a fly. The number two is going to run that speed cut out. The number three in the backfield will run to the flats. And the tailback will lock the backside as always, and we will have that post tag on the outside for our disposal. The last sail concept I'll show you is out of the bunch. We'll have the outside number one running a corner, getting deep. The number three will run a 10-yard speed cut out. The Y will wait for the number one and the number three to clear, and then we'll shoot out to the flats. And the tailback will protect, and the outside receiver away from the concept side will run that slant.